Let's go, guys. We just got a ginormous leak about one of the new characters in Pokemon Winds and Waves. So we have had a couple of leaks about some of the new characters throughout the last couple of weeks. Like, we know that apparently we are going to have 3 friends in this game, and one of these characters is specifically from the Kanto region. So that's the specific character in today's video that we're going to talk about with this brand new leak. And we have more to talk about with some of the upcoming Pokemon, some of the new Generation 10 Pokemon being brought over into another game, another Pokemon game to be specific, maybe potentially before Winds and Waves does come out, and that may explain some of the new Pokemon trademarks that we just got a few days ago of the Generation 10 starters. And we also have the reveal of that Pokemon Spot leak that everyone was thinking was going to be some sort of brand new Pokemon game. Now we officially do know what it is, and we're going to uncover it all in today's video. Just so much information. Right before we do hop into that, please subscribe to the channel. Help to my goal of 45,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for 42k. You guys are just so awesome, showing some mad love recently. Let's just hop right into it. Somebody over on Twitter or X said, "Boy, I do hope that one is a child of a known character, or else the from Kanto setting is super wasted." Well, this person is in luck, and honestly makes sense that would be the case. Here's the original tweets, by the way, where Ball Guy saying that there are 3 friends in this game and that one is from Kanto, and Ball Guy responded with a photo of Lieutenant Surge and Raichu, which right away, Raichu is my favorite Pokemon. Makes sense that he's going to be in the game because, of course, Pikachu was literally in the trailer. My goodness, guys, now this would be awesome, and I have a lot to say about this. And right away, before I even say anything, let me know your theories about this, because obviously what Ball Guy is saying is that this new character from the Kanto region is more than likely going to be the child of Lieutenant Surge. And it is very interesting with this photo because Raichu is a very prominent, I guess you could say, character in this photo, more so than Lieutenant Surge. Now, immediately what I thought about was Lieutenant Surge's kid is going to have an Alolan Raichu, because Alolan Raichu obviously is like a surfer. It's from the Alola region. We have seen a lot of weird like parallels with the Alola region within this game already. So I think that the kid is going to have an Alolan Raichu. Another thing I was thinking about is maybe because this is going to be one of the main Pokemon in the game, like, you know, one of the Pokemon that you're going to constantly kind of encounter because it's obviously one of the main characters' Pokemon, makes me think that Raichu is going to be one of the Pokemon that receives the new Battle Evolution gimmick, if it is one of those gimmicks where a select group of Pokemon can only use it, because we're still not sure if every Pokemon can use it, or if only a select group. You know, think of like Mega Evolution. Not every single Pokemon can Mega Evolve, whereas Terrestrialization, every single Pokemon can use Terrestrialization. I feel like one of the most straightforward theories I could think about is that obviously Lieutenant Surge is maybe not around anymore. Maybe he's just retired, and his kid inherited the love of electric Pokemon. Maybe the kid is going to be the gym leader for the electric type throughout this region, or maybe trying to be the electric type gym leader, because if it's our friend, I'm assuming it's probably going to be a younger person. So maybe they're not the gym leader just yet, or maybe they will be or desire to be. And of course, rather than just copying Surge exactly, I think that's why it makes sense for this kid to actually have an Alolan Raichu using maybe some of the new weather gimmicks, because the Battle Evolution gimmick is going to be something weather related. So maybe their battle style is going to be fit to the Winds and Waves region, using some of the water, winds, whatever. And of course, using a version of Raichu because it's the family legacy. I also immediately thought of Garachu because that's the scrapped evolution of Raichu from Generation 1, which I still would love. But could you imagine if Garachu is going to be in this game? And that's the Pokemon that this kid is going to be using, is the Raichu evolution. I think that actually has a real possibility of happening, only because of the fact that it's Generation 10. Of course, they're going to want to pay homage to Gen 1. So what better way than to give Pikachu another evolution? But at the same time, that wouldn't really make sense because we have Pichu, Pikachu, and then Raichu. So yeah, they probably wouldn't give this Pokemon a 4-stage evolution. That just would not make sense. They could also just pull off something to make Garachu maybe just a completely separate, unique Pokemon that's like part of the family. Maybe that could even be the region's Pikachu clone, I guess you could say. Or maybe there is going to be another version of Raichu, like another regional variant of Raichu. I feel like an Alolan Raichu is just more fitting because it already has like the surfer ocean vibe to it. And there are a lot of people that do think that the Mega Raichu X and Y Pokemon are kind of a little bit inspired by Garachu. So what if this could mean that maybe Mega Evolutions are going to be in this game, but going to be like a post-game kind of thing? And that's going to be, I guess you could say, the Garachu for this specific person. I also feel like that is a very unlikely theory, but Figured I'd mention it just in case. Maybe Raichu could become a split evolution rather than Raichu just evolving. Normally, it could go from Pikachu to Gorachu instead of Pikachu to Raichu. I feel like I just yapped about that for too long, but my goodness, I just love this so much. Okay, now I want to talk about the Pokemon Spot game pretty quick. It's just basically a collaboration in China for the Pokemon Company and Wallop Technology. So unfortunately, it was not a brand new game, even though it was classified kind of under that. But hey, we could dream. And we could hope that we're still going to get some random game dropping soon that we have no idea about. Now moving on to something that is extremely interesting, and it was a theory of mine that actually may become true. So basically my theory has been from the very beginning of Pokopia dropping is that the starter Pokemon for Gen 10 will be in Pokopia at one point. And now there have been many cases where Pokemon are actually playable or showcased in something such as a video game or the anime before they dropped in their respective regions. Right here you can see Ho-Oh was in the Generation 1 anime, Munchlax was playable in Pokemon XD before Gen 4 even came out, Terapagos appeared in the Gen 9 anime before its debut game. I do believe Bonsly was also in Pokemon XD as well, but there are more cases of this. Like, this has happened a lot where Pokemon are shown off before they come out in their generation or their region, whatever. We also have this leaked for the anime where we're going to get some new generation of Pokemon, like not the starters, something that we haven't seen before, released in the anime and shown off in the anime before Winds and Waves does fully come out. However, Billy over here, which I always gotta say this, very interesting account. It seems like sometimes they get things spot on and then sometimes they're just tweeting, just tweet, but I figured I'd bring this up because this probably will happen and I think a lot of people are convinced. He is saying that the new starters will be part of the DLC 3 of Pokopia. No evolutions, just the base form. Makes total sense. The DLC 3 of Pokopia is coming out in 2027. Winds and Waves also dropping in 2027. And he also is saying hence the trademark. If you don't remember, a few days ago, we did fully get the trademarks for the Winds and Waves starters. I know that doesn't sound like huge information, but that is pretty important and that would really make sense for it to be lining up for these Pokemon to be in the Part 3 DLC of Pokopia before Winds and Waves does drop, and then eventually after Winds and Waves fully comes out. I am very, very certain we will continue to have more Generation 10 Pokemon make their way into Pokopia. Maybe not the entire Pokedex, but definitely there will be some of the new Pokemon in the game as well. Somebody also asking Billy to make a riddle to try to guess the name of the Winds and Waves region, and then he posted this, which just, I don't know. I really have no idea how to break this one down, but obviously it says Aloha, there's a beach, and there is a lady that seems like she is dancing. You know your theories about what the Winds and Waves region could be called? We also had somebody make a tweet basically saying that the date where the legendary Pokemon were revealed for Sword and Shield, and if I'm not mistaken, both the legendary Pokemon for Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet were both revealed during the second trailer. Now, the second trailer for these games dropped about 3-ish months after the first trailer, but of course everything's a little bit different for Winds and Waves, where the second trailer is most likely going to be Pokemon Day of 2027. Billy responding with a date format up here, and I do believe that this is specifically the day, month, and then the year format. So day, if I'm assuming this is going to be Pokemon Day, so it's probably 27/02/2027, meaning February 27th of 2027 is where we will most likely see the Winds and Waves legendary Pokemon fully revealed. I honestly do agree with that. If we don't get another trailer before then, and if we do, then that's hype, and I could totally see us getting legendaries revealed then. But lots of stuff going on right now, guys. We just got tons of stuff with Winds and Waves happening, and just Pokemon in general. If you were watching this far in the video, comment down below avocado. Let me know your thoughts and your theories, everything covered in today's video. Hope you guys have an amazing day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.